Bam, live. Here we go. All right, so good morning, everyone, good afternoon, good evening, according to where you guys are connecting from. So I'm excited. This is my first live after so long, and so I'm not even used anymore of to going live and but it's nice. It's nice to be here. It's nice to connect with you again. And very good. So while what are we doing here? What will we do here today? We're gonna review a few resumes. I'm gonna answer any question that you can have. Um, we're going to. I have a few people who sent me their resumes, so I took a look at that and um, I'll start with their resumes. If by chance you're connecting and you haven't sent me your resume, but you would like to have your resume reviewed, um, just send it to me. And you have the link here in the chat. You have my LinkedIn. You can send me that on LinkedIn, and we can go through it immediately. Um, Very good. Now, while in the meantime, let me know if you're there. Write something in the chat. Let me know your name. If you want to go first. If you already sent me your resume, you want to have your as first resume to be analyzed. Just let me know your name, and I'll go get yours. Now, since you're here, and before starting, let's just go real quick over um, how we can make a very good resume. Okay, so share. Let me just share my screen. Now you should be able to see my screen right now. Let me put this a little bit better, like this, and here we go. All right, so let's take a look to how we can build a very good resume. So starting from the first question that we're gonna ask, which is, what does my audience want? Okay, what does the company that I want to apply for, what do they want? Okay, how can we do that? We're gonna talk about that in a second. Step number two, we're going to think about, what do I have? Okay, what do they want? What do I have? And final step, we're going to build the resume, putting together these two things. Now, while we will go through some of the examples that you guys have sent me, ciao Frel, some of the examples that you guys have sent me, we will talk a lot about what does my audience want. We're going to see where we can find those kind of information, and then we're going to cross-reference. So there is not a way to take any resume and turn it into a good one, because there is not a fixed formula for every resume, because it depends on the company that you are applying for. Hello, uh, Vujoj, Gallum. Okay, Carlo. um, and again, if you want to have your resume reviewed, just let me know here in the chat. Um, so, how do we find what the company wants? Easy. We have three main um, places where we can go. First and most important, we're gonna go through the job descriptions. So before applying, before creating your resume, what I would like you to do is go on LinkedIn, go on masters.com, Indeed, Glassdoors. There are so many companies, there are so many websites where companies post the openings that they have. So first, go there, find at least 5 to 10 job descriptions that you think you're qualified for. Go there and start analyzing those and looking for the keywords, looking for the kind of experience that they want. Same thing, you can do that with a company website or on LinkedIn, which is extremely powerful for this, connecting to people who already work there. It doesn't necessarily have to be HR personnel. Okay, it can be regular people that do a job that is close to the job that you would like to do. You connect with them, and you get some feedback on what the company wants. Once you have clear in mind what they want, then you're gonna think about what you have. What experience do I have? Have I done an internship that can be relevant for this? Have I taken some university courses, some classes, some online training that is relevant for what the companies want? Um, and you're gonna cross-reference this, and you're gonna have clear in mind the value that you can bring to these companies. And finally, we're going to put everything together according to the 4 golden rules. Now, which are the 4 golden rules of the resume? The resume has to be short, which means 1 page. Has to be clear, which means, now let me show you this way. Let me show you this. All right. So resume has to be short, has to be clear. And by clear, I mean that it has the person that is reading that has to understand what is your job in 1 second. So for example, you read my resume over here, bam, you read my name, Pietro Galli, right under that, operation management engineer. Bam, that's what I do. So what I would like you to do is your name, and big, right under your name, your job qualification or your university degree. Petroleum engineer, mechanical engineer, taxi driver, whatever, but clear the job that you're qualified for doing. Numerical results, so it's very nice to sprinkle some numerical results on your resume. We're gonna see that. We're gonna see many examples. And last but not least, the relevant keywords. How do we find the relevant keywords? Exactly with this, with the method of going through the job description and looking what they're researching for that particular position. Now that we have well clear in mind what we're gonna do, and let's say the kind of theory that there is behind this resume stuff, let's start analyzing some of your resumes. So let me see. By the way, I know there is a little bit of delay. As always, there is a little bit of delay with the chat. Again, if you send me your resume, just let me know, and let me know in the chat, and I will prioritize yours. In the meantime, let's just go. Let me open your resumes. In the meantime, Frel, if you're still there, come stai? Let me see, live session resume reviews. We're gonna just go. In the meantime, we're just going to go alphabetical order. So now you should be able to see my screen. And so this is the first resume that I received. Let me put it big. All right. So interesting resume. It's interesting how this person, how the student has put him, the experience, and as you can see, experience and activities together, which can be good, but can also be a little bit misleading. So let's start from the first analysis, first impression. It's 1 page, and I love it. Usually I get these resumes that are like 4, 5, 6 pages. Too much. So that's the first and good part. Now the contact area, I think it's pretty well done. Now, fresh graduate applied geophysicist. Now, sure, it's okay. As I said, it has to be clear. I would probably put, without fresh graduate, just applied geophysicist, or geophysicist scientist, or something like that. And I would put it, here, where the profile is, I would actually put your name and your job qualification here at the top. Geophysics engineer and data science enthusiast, highly motivated. Okay, this is interesting. The profile, it's something that, you know, some people like it, some people don't. I think it's good to have, especially if it's so short. But I would make it even shorter. So highly motivated with proven leadership skills, who enjoy taking initiative. These are, you know, probably it's all true, but it can be a little bit overheard. Okay, like it's a little bit of buzzwords, because everyone can say that, you know, that they are highly motivated. Everyone can say that they have leadership skills. So I would save some space here. I would only go for geophysicist engineer and data science enthusiast. And instead of profile, I would probably put your name here. And we are going to prove these statements, highly motivated with leadership skills, in your experience and activities. Now, I'm a very big fan of the 2 columns resumes, so I like that. Maybe I would use different colors, but I think it's nice. The here the infographic on the software skills, it's nice, and it's very pertinent with the kind of job that you're looking for. So that's good. Hobbies, very nice. It's nice. I would keep it. Now, what would I change? The biggest change that I would do are the following. So you can probably use a smaller font. I think this is probably a 13. You can even use a 12 or a 11 throughout your all of your resume, you know, to save a little bit of space. And and the if yeah, okay, and all of these qualifications. So for example, you see the C2, by the way, very good, you know, C2, it's great level of English. You can maybe add it here, you know, languages and certification. You can just put the EE exam, because I would like you to have a little bit more space for your achievement. So you see, we don't have any numerical results here, and that's something that that we might change. Identification faults, factors. Okay, so for example, this is the master thesis. Okay, probably for the master thesis you have started on one. You know, you've started from something and you've gotten a result. So I would encourage you to put some numbers, something, you know, on what you have achieved by different seismic approaches. You know, identification faults of fractures by different seismic approaches in the region of Hassi Mesod. So, okay, how? Like, what are the techniques that you have used? What is the final result? How can a company utilize these skills that you have in their advantages? So make sure that you mention that. Then I've seen that you have done software integrated solution intern. Perfect. During the internship, you've probably worked, you were probably part of a bigger project. What was the project? Or was it just training? Perfect. On what have you been trained? So I would really spend a little bit more time, how? Going out, going on LinkedIn, looking for job descriptions for geophysicist engineer, petroleum engineer, you know, whatever kind, you know, any kind of area, sector that you would like to work. Look what are the qualifications that they require, and use a little bit of more space to put some numerical results and to put those keywords in order to let them understand that you're the right man for the job. Yeah, so that's probably it. But for the, you know, for the rest, it's a, you know, it's not a bad resume. By the way, Greek mythology, grande. Me too. Really love that. So it's nice. That probably is the first person that I've ever seen. I've seen a lot of resumes. First person that I see in obvious, putting Greek mythology. Um, okay, let me just, in the meantime, let's go because I think that I've seen some. Let me see. Here we go. Okay, let's get this resume. Elnur, if you are connected now, can you let me know in the chat? Because you just sent me your resume right now, so I don't have a way, to cancel now the, like your phone number or stuff like that, your email address and stuff like that. So in case, can you let me know if it's okay that I just share this the resume that you sent me? So let me know if you are connected right now. In the meantime, moving on to the next person. Uh, let me get it. Da, da, da. Here we go. So next person, Hamed. Suck. Very good. Okay, so one page. Let me just drink a little bit. In the meantime, try to go to the same exercise yourself. So we want to look. We're essentially looking for 4 key factors. Okay, trying to do this exercise while together with me. First thing, short. So it has to be 1 page. Like no way that we're gonna accept anything more than 1 page. So okay. The second thing is it clear? Can I understand immediately what is the kind of job that you are qualified to do? The third one, and that's the most important one, and that's where 95% of resumes fail, is do we have numerical results, achievement, and relevant experience on the resume? And this is very important. And 4, do we have the right keywords? This is a little bit harder to understand just by at first glance, but we can definitely tell about the first 3 factors. So what do you think? Is there anything that it's missing here? What how would we rate this resume? So let's see. First thing, name, and right under the name, job qualification. Very good, I like it. Information that I censored, of course, but those are the right information. Okay, you don't need, and we will see that later with some other examples of resumes, you don't need to include your sex, your marital status. You don't need to include the full address of where you stay. City and country. That's more than enough. You don't need to include if you have the driver's license, for example, unless you apply for a position in which the driver's license is strictly required. But in general, all of those things, but in particular the marital status and sex. Those are the 2 things that you can definitely avoid. Okay, so good the part about the name, good the part about the job qualification. Profile, let's see. Technically skilled, fresh graduate petroleum who is hardworking and passionate. A team player with a solid commitment to excellence. With a proven self-learning skills, seeking to gain a lot of experience in my field to become a professional expert in the petroleum industry. I'm looking for a job that increases my capabilities, skills, and helps me use my academical background to initiate my career path. So I understand the 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 willingness of putting the profile with what you can do and the ambition of what you would like to do. Um, I'm not sure that we want to use so much space in your resume for that, because maybe this could be good for a cover letter maybe. Um, but yeah, usually like this, there is not numerical results. There is not a clear reference to some company or some abilities that you have. So I would either rewrite it a little bit. You can remove it and keep it for your cover letter, but I would try to make it a little bit more relevant for the kind of jobs that you are about to apply for. So, for example, and make it more specific. So, hard work and passion is self-learning. Self-learning. How? What did you learn by yourself? So so. For example, you have some trainings that you have completed. You have some courses. You have some online certification. You have, maybe spend one line explaining why self-learning, and um, yeah, and then all of the part, looking for a job experience, to expand my. That is not so relevant for the resume, because again, once they're looking for your resume and they're looking at your resume, the companies want to know what you can bring them, not vice versa, not what you would like from them. And we are selling ourselves, so it's important to put things that are relevant for them. Experience. Let's see. Because I was looking for your okay, bachelor. So July 2021. So yeah, it's like about 6 months, probably a little bit more. Um, um, okay. Uh, so I was thinking, how much time. So those were internship during your bachelor. Okay, perfect. What have you done? That's interesting. So field training in Wasco Petroleum Company, July for nearly 1 week. Okay, I would probably eliminate the 1 week, because there isn't much that you can learn in 1 week. But what you can say is probably field training, petroleum company, doing this, getting some experience with this technique, with this company, with this kind of problem. Make it practical. If I am hiring you, what have you learned in that week, 2 weeks, 10 days, 24 hours, whatever it is? What have you learned that you can reapply in the job that you're looking for? So you, like everybody else, um, go out there, look for job descriptions, and see what they're requesting. So yeah, I would definitely explain a little bit better what you have learned and what you can apply. Trainee, petroleum company, so field training, petroleum company, blah blah blah, nearly 1 week. Really beneficial training, since I have seen a lot of operations out there. Okay, let's put it a little bit more formal. So what operations have you seen? Which machines, which tools? And if you want, honestly, you can put these two, yeah, you can either put these together, like, trainee for a few weeks, in July 2018, July 2019, and you make a good list of what you have understood. Then trainee with Pio Petro, um, perfect. What are, and this is important that you do it. And same thing with your education. So for the trainee with Biopetro and for the bachelor in petroleum engineer, what I would like you to do is look for the job descriptions. Look what are the areas that they are focused on, okay, and think out of all of the trainings that you have received with Biopetro and with your university, out of all of the university trainings, courses, projects, out of all of that, which are the 3, 4 main and most important trainings that you have received most relevant for the kind of jobs that you want to do, and put those projects here explaining what you have learned. And yeah, for the skills and language, absolutely. Then reach out to me if you want some other templates. I have quite a few templates that that would be happy to share with you guys. So just reach out to me in case. Very good. Now, by the way, let me know if you guys are still there. Feel free to type something else in the chat if you have any questions, and on the process, on how to look for certain information. If you want to know if you can include, if you can or if you cannot include something on your resume, so feel free to ask anything. Now, let's move on to the third, and we're going to conclude this half an hour together. And let me open that. Here we go. Bum. All right. So this is an interesting resume, and as you see here, you see marital status single, driver's license full. I mean, if it's required for the job, perfect, go for it and put it. Otherwise, the driver's license you cannot put it, and the marital status usually, yeah, there is no need. So interesting CV, because this is not a fresh graduate. This is a person that actually has quite a few years of experience. So what we see, first thing, this is 2 pages, so this is a little bit too long. There are a lot of informations here that are not that relevant. So for example, all of the certificates and trainings, out of all of this, okay, you can select the most relevant ones, and I would say maximum 3 or 4, not more. Then master's degree, 2016, like me, so it's like 6 years that we got our master's degree. So that's good. Yes, just one line, no more than one line. Probably once we have the master, you can probably eliminate the English language certificate unless it's not required. And if you are not looking for an HSE supervisor position, you can probably eliminate this part, not including this here. All of the other certifications, yeah, I mean, if they are not relevant for the job, you can eliminate all of them and save some space. And the right place where you can put it is on your LinkedIn. So on your LinkedIn, you don't need to save space. On your resume, you do. So starting from the job description, looking what what the what the company is required, and probably education, certification, maybe 1 or 2. You can easily put them here. Okay, you can put a little bit up the professional experience. We might add a little bit on your professional experience, and then skills, qualification, and education on the bottom. Okay, I think for English and French you can just write good, or like professional knowledge, something like that. And you can save some space. This is interesting because this is your skills are interesting because they are relevant for some sectors. So mud logging and well logs interpretation, oil and gas reservoir characterization and evaluation. You see, so we can actually see, that you are a professional. Okay, I mean, you have already worked. You're not a fresh graduate, so you have a story to tell. And this is, in these cases, it's very important to put some numerical results on the projects that you have contributed. What was the dollar impact of some of your project? You were an HSC supervisor. What, the HSC, the metric is, the perfect HSC day. So days without close call, without near miss, without accidents, and so on. What have you done to improve the safety condition of your were you on field or were you on a plant? Anyways, so what have you done to improve the safety condition? What have you done to improve the safety awareness and driving, the safety culture across the team? So all of those things are very important. Then communicate with client to resolve issues and ensure client satisfaction. That's very good. Do you have some examples? Do you have some metric of the number of near misses before the implementation of a certain project that you have done, and the number of accidents, reports, and stuff after? So all of those things, to make the role a little bit more concrete. Then for all of these past experience, because you already have like 4 or 5 years of professional experience, your internship are not that important anymore. So I would tell, let's cut some of them and just keep the ones that are important for your next role. What do you want to do next? And just keep the experiences that are relevant for your next role, trying to explain a little bit more of what you have done in those internships, maybe. Yeah, we talked about this, and yeah, it's good to have the link to LinkedIn that you can put it here, and yeah, and I would say that that's basically it. Now, let me. Very good. Very good. Very good. Now, I would say that this is probably we can wrap up our quick session for this Sunday, and I will keep it in my YouTube channel, so can other people can benefit from it. I know that there were some of the people that we have analyzed their resume, they couldn't join because it's quite late um, in their side of the world. Um, so it has been good. We're definitely gonna keep the habit of having Q&A session or resume review session going forward, probably either Saturday or Sunday. We'll see. And with that being said, it has been a pleasure, and I'll see you very soon. As always, fai a modino.